I would say, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, it's not a big deal.
It wasn't once or twice. It was every time we walked the property together. The dude would say something like, I'm going to put a barn there. And I'd say, well, that's my property. You're not.
You can't put a barn there.
When the builder came out to help us plot where the house is going to be on our property, I asked him to survey the property line, at least between the houses. And he called me at the end of the day and said, you weren't kidding me. Those guys have no idea where the property line was. They tried to put their house on your property. I was like, well, thank you for stopping that.
They had to move their house far enough for it to be that minimum footage away from the property line. All of that happened before building happened.
And this is, again, they have 14 acres. They put it 8 feet from the property line.
Right. So part of the building process includes the builder coming to us, because we're friends and we're neighbors, to let us know that they need dirt for their driveway, to build the driveway.
Most of their property is a protected wetland, so they had to build up quite a significant amount to get their driveway.
Right.
And we were building a basement. We said, hey, if you're not doing anything with the dirt, you could really help out your neighbors. And I said, the builder, go ahead, give them the dirt from our basement. And it wasn't until after we realized it was about $15,000 worth of clean dirt for their driveway.
So we gave them dirt for their driveway.
So when they broke ground, they had a groundbreaking party. And this was probably the first time we went to their property. And when we came up the driveway, I noticed immediately they took more dirt from our property. They took a half a football field's worth. I had to get the actual neighbor that was responsible for taking the dirt to shake my hand and agree to fix the issues that he made. And I did so in front of all of our friends.
So just in case it isn't clear to you, topsoil is only about the top 1 to 2 inches of dirt, and it is highly, highly valuable and very necessary. In this scenario where the neighbors had thought they were taking dirt from their land, but were taking it actually from our property, in order to repair the damage that was done, they were going to need to fill in the land that they had dug out and then replace it with topsoil so that it would be as valuable and as nutrient dense and as fertile as the topsoil that they had taken. And as people who were starting a farm, that mattered to us very much. Anyway, to circle back, they were living in their house. They'd moved into their house. Our house wasn't ready yet, but our lease was up on the apartment that we were renting while we were building. And so we borrowed a camper from a friend. So we drove the camper onto the property and parked it, and were immediately told by the neighbors, oh, you're putting the camper on our property. And Brock again was like, no, sir.
Dude, it's like 30 feet that way.
This is our property. The camper is on our property. We are not on your property. And at this point, we're starting to get a little like, hey guys, this is a bit of a problem for us, especially when it comes to like our plan to put a fence in. Property line matters, right? So in the building process, what also happened was we had to run power from the road to the houses, and the city had told us that it would make the most sense for us and the immediate neighbors to run power up to the houses together and have a transformer on the property line and then send power out to each house. What we discovered after several weeks of neighbor dude kind of being obnoxious towards the city worker that didn't really have a choice about when it was going to happen. Brock had a conversation with the city worker where he said, hey man, I'm sorry this guy's being,
Well, yeah, I didn't want him to tie our family to that kind of behavior.
Right.
He was just being so rude. Like the guy it was COVID. Mm-hmm. Everyone was building.
Everyone was limited. It wasn't his fault. And he was bearing the brunt of the frustration of this family that was not willing or able to be patient. So anyway, Brock had a conversation with this guy where he said, hey, I'll try to talk to him and see if I can get him to back off a little.
And what I added to it was like, hey, if he starts talking to you like this again and I don't notice it, please let me know, because I'll have another conversation.
Right.
And from my perspective, the next thing that happened was I got an email from the neighbor dude, and said, hey, the transformer's in. And I was like, what?
Yes.
What happened? And apparently he took me off the email chain and just worked with the guy directly.
Right. So our estimation of where the power converter had been put in was not anywhere near the property line.
It was like 25 feet from the property line.